Hello, everybody. It is me, Pacific, with more thoughts from the garage, and it's cold again. Look, I even got an air compressor so I can blow some more hot air onto the internet. You know what? I love you guys and girls that watch my videos. By the way, I'm not going to quit. I can't do it. It's the only life I've got for something to do. I mean, come on, I'm in Lakewood, Colorado. It's boring. You know, I went to church today, heard an excellent concert where they played the old hymn, Silent Night, "Will Come All You Faithful," with Child Is This. That's good stuff. And a male and a female choir, the handbell choir, the orchestra, the organ, the piano, and I'll tell you what, and the conductor, and it was top notch. Beautiful. But you know, I sat in there and people are so serious. Even the conductor. When he checks the time, I just look at my hand. Everything is so staged and contrived. And there's a certain amount of that I like. But white culture has left me feeling very empty. This video is titled "Why I'm Interested in Pursuing Black Female for Date." I don't have one in mind. I'd like to meet one. I want to say something favorable about black women that they need to hear from a white man. First, I'm going to be blunt. I love ebony skin. Ever since I was little, I was always drawn to tan skin, and I was like, gosh, white women get a tan, and all of us guys go, wow, but it wears off. Then when I was in the Philippines, that tan skin really got to me. Then I met online gals from Mindanao that were even darker, and I come back to the U.S., and I really, really appreciate black beauty. I don't have hang-ups. I have lived overseas, as you know. I've been through enough with white culture. I don't like the ghetto culture that's dominating a lot of our black community in America. I don't like it at all. But I'll tell you what, I look at pictures of some of these classy black women on the internet. They're beautiful faces. They're still exotic, and I'm fascinated. But let me tell you one of the things I like about black women. Not the ghetto stuff. Black women tend to be more passionate. And I'm passionate. I'm speaking as a guy. A lot of guys, they make love and they're just pieces of cardboard. I've heard that from white women. But I was married to two white women, and I've dated white women, and most of them are passionless in lovemaking and other things. White women tend to get into shopping and boring stuff. Not stuff that matters, like passion and warmth and expression. Now, there's a few that I've met, but black women tend to have more passion in them, more soul, and I'm finding that even though I'm not black and I wasn't raised in black culture, I'm finding that I really feel comfortable around certain black females because it's like, you know what? Maybe that's what I need to pursue. I don't know if you've all noticed, but I've kind of cooled towards the Asians. I've done that. And since I'm not over there to go chase them around, I'm here. I'm trying to make the best of it. One thing I like is that a lot of black women aren't afraid to get close to God. My only concern is sometimes black women take more of the emotional based stuff and run with that, and they can sometimes get into false teaching because of that, i.e. the charismatic movement and stuff like that. But I'm disappointed because I've been back here in Denver, and I'm not very impressed with the black culture in Denver. It's just poor. It's very ghetto. And the other dynamic that really disturbs me is a lot of black women are not going to date a white guy because the black men will give them grief for it. It's okay for a black man to date a white woman, and nobody seems to squawk about it. Some do. But there's some unwritten rule that if a black woman's with a white guy, black guys are looking at their sisters going, what are you doing with him? It really shouldn't matter. That's between two people. But I love ebony skin. I love black faces. And one thing I remember when I was working in the home in Ohio, when we ran the troubled youth home, we had a few black girls that came in, and I noticed the difference right away. They were more energetic, more passionate, more funny, and I just like, gosh, they make me laugh. We had a gal named Shanika. She was very touchy-feely. She was very sweet, and she was, we were playing hide and go seek, and it was so funny. Me, her, the other girl, we were running through the house playing hide and go seek, and I came up and scared her and went, wow, and she shrieked and screamed and laughed. We laughed so hard, and I thought, one of the things that I liked and what I've noticed, the black girls get on my bus and their mothers take the time to beat up their hair and put those little colorful beads in it. They sit there and shake their head. It's like, you know what? I've been focusing more on that lately because I'm like, you know what? The very thing I've been screaming for in my life, passion and energy, a lot of black women have that, and I like it. And boy, can they dance. I'm sorry, black females, I'm not as good as a dancer as you, but I love to watch you dance. Some of you guys are just great. I don't have a hang-up about dating black women. I don't have any issue with that at all. It's very sad to me that so many people are caught in their little walled villages in America. We say we're free, we say we're enlightened, we say we're liberated, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. It is unfortunate that feminism has really taken a toehold in the black female community in America, and a lot of black girls don't do themselves justice. I meet girls at the other terminal that are black, and they're beautiful until they open their mouth, and it's mofo and this and that. A woman wrote me today. I was trying to get on her site to answer her, and then I lost the thing and I couldn't find the comment. In the other video about dating sites and Pacific's thoughts on black females, she said, before I watch this, I want to know, are you against black women? I'm a British UK black. And I thought, shoot, I met British or UK blacks, and I'll tell you what, they're awesome. I remember meeting a gal online in Africa. She was black, and we got on cam talking, and she was so funny, so gorgeous. She was a Christian woman and so full of life and energy, and I thought, too bad she's over there. Why do people have such hang-ups? Why is it that even here in Colorado, people say you need to find yourself a good white woman? I can't. So why keep looking in there? It's kind of like, when I lived in Minnesota in Hibbing, it was an iron ore mine. And when they stop finding ore, they keep digging further and further. They don't keep digging in the same area. So many of us men are digging around in our white ore pit, and there's nothing but Scrabble on the ground. Literally, useless, no good ore. I would be honored to date a black woman. Yes, I'd want her to be slender, and I'd want her to take care of herself, and I'd want her to not be ghetto mentality, but I'd also like her to look at a man's heart and not be caught up in the money. One of the sad things that I've heard in my own break room at work by black women, many of them that are attractive, they will not date a guy unless he's got money. Period. They even wear shirts that say no money, no honey. And I see that and I go, wow, isn't that sad? But I'm going to say something, viewers. I don't think black women are ugly. The only ones that are ugly are the ones that sit around eating chicken all day, get obese, and are running their mouth at everybody and complaining that everything's racism and the poster child for the Democrat Party. You know what I mean? And it's sad. I'm not racist at all. But I found a lot of black women in our culture, American culture, are racist and very against us. And a lot of black men have told me on my videos, what you say about white women is true of black women. We're tired of it. We won't date black women anymore because of their attitudes. I see it at work. I see it at work all day, every day. There's not a black woman in that room that I can point to and say, wow, she's just a good. I take that back. There's one. She's a Christian. She found out I was a Christian. She looked me right in the eye and says, well, then you're my brother. And I said, that's right, sister. She said, you know what? I'm going to find out if there's any sisters out there that are interested in you because you're a nice guy. I said, would you? She told me I need to go out to their churches out there. The problem is I don't agree with a lot of the stuff in their churches. And sometimes this is an indictment on us white people. We're the frozen chosen. You go to church and everybody sits there like this. And I've got to be careful because sometimes you look at certain ethnicities and they're very emotional. You don't believe me, watch Spanish soap operas on Buena Vista TV or Univision or whatever it is. We've got to be careful. You can't have runaway emotionalism on the one hand, but I lived in Minnesota with the Stoics and I saw social retardation up there. I am not putting down those that are handicapped. I'm talking about people that can't say hi, can't show emotion, and somebody tells a joke and they're all standing around like this. So I'm not talking dirty jokes. It's like they're afraid to laugh because of peer pressure or something. But I've also been in emotionally based communities where everything's drama time. A lot of black women, when they go to church, they get into Jesus. They're not afraid to sing it out. They're not afraid to say amen. They're not afraid to throw their arms up in the air, and I respect that. I'm somewhere in the middle of those groups. Somewhere in the middle of the frozen white people, and somewhere between the people running around and screaming and yelling on stage. I like passion. I like emotional expression. The one thing I've also respected, too, for the most part, is most black women I know, they don't beat around the bush, and I like that. They'll tell you what they're thinking, and they'll tell you where they stand on something, and I appreciate that. White women are too caught up in the political correctness movement, and a lot of black women haven't fallen to that yet, thankfully. But this doesn't need to be a long video. I appreciate Ebony, and I'm going to say something further, because I know sometimes on my sites, skinheads and Aryan nations and pro-Hitler people show up, and I'm not interested in their philosophies whatsoever. But you know what? Black people came from Adam and Eve too, and this idea of racism is just totally unbiblical. God didn't create one race superior than the others. He didn't do it. I'm not superior to black people. Black people aren't superior to me. Asians aren't superior. Mexicans, Europeans. It's all in how one conducts oneself. And I'm going to say something to the black women out there. I appreciate the black beauty. I appreciate some of your heritage. I don't want to get caught up in this discussion of racism and what whites have done, because I've seen racism from the blacks and from the whites. What I'd like to do, meet a woman that's past all that, loves my heart, I love hers, and we just got a little chocolate and vanilla going on. I'm not being rude, but I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we just say, well, I'm only going to stay within my race. I don't have a problem. My next query is wondering if I can find a black woman that's interested in me, that's my type, and I'm hers. Might be interesting. Love to do videos on here with a black woman at my side, and we're the duo and we're the show. That would be fun. Anyways, just my thoughts on it. I have been definitely gearing my mind up more and more that, you know what, I'm going to really start looking out in that direction. Unfortunately, on the side of town I live in, which is the West Metro, not too many blacks out here. They're mostly way out in Aurora, which is way east of Denver. So that's a long commute. But I'll tell you what, if I fall in love with somebody and that somebody falls in love with me, That kind of distance I can handle. After all, I went to Hong Kong to chase somebody, and that was a waste of time. But this is my thoughts on black women. We're all one blood. We all came from Adam and Eve. People got hiccups. I understand we all got preferences. There's nothing wrong with that. And some of my viewers may go, Pacific, I respect you, but I'm never marrying outside of my color or my race. That's fine. But please don't ever look down on somebody who does. God created all people, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in His sight. By the way, I'm red. Just remember that. Red hair, red skin. I think some black women are just drop dead gorgeous. Love that ebony skin. And I love some of the outfits they wear and the way they do their hair and the things that they do. It's unique to them. I like that. And I think that's wonderful. And in this world where everybody's trying to be just like everybody else, and Americans are all trying to homogenize, and are you a feminist? Are you gay? Are you conservative? Are you Democrat? Everybody's trying to fit into this big giant. I don't like it. I like uniqueness and I like differences, and I find a lot of black women are very unique and very different, and I really am turned on and attracted to that. This is Pacific's commentary on it. I'm signing off because it's getting cold out here, and I'm out of here. Bye bye.